folks, this is ioEther. We're back playing some more World Tanks. So, as you can see, this is Doug 999, Doug 999, whatever, Doug, and his AMX 12t. One of my favorite Tier 6 scout tanks. Only exceeded at this low level by the ELC because of the crazy stuff you can do in it. This is a Tier 8 battle on Sand River. It's an encounter map. One of the few encounter maps that I run into, mostly because I have encounter maps and assaults turned off for various reasons. But anyways, before we actually get into the gameplay, if you want to talk to me, Facebook, Duxer, and Twitter links are all in the description below, as well as the best way to support the channel will always be to like any videos you enjoy, and if you want to support me directly, my Patreon account is also in the description below. But now that we're past that, I should switch that over to something useful so that we can actually tell what tanks are still in this battle. So Doug is currently one of the few people on his team. Is that Fury in the water? Okay then. So, Doug is one of the few intelligent people on this team, and he is sprinting down this side, trying to get light. Now, this is not the best place in the world for a light tank. The reasons for that is that if Doug runs into anything on this side, there's very little he can do about it. Now, yes, most of the enemy heavy tanks are on the other side of the map. But there's a T-34 that we have no idea where it is, and a Churchill 7. Both of those guys, if Doug runs into them, they're going to be able to do a lot more to Doug than Doug is going to be able to do to them. However, as he hasn't currently run into them, everything seems to be okay. On the downside, we have been lit by the T-37, and now a Super Pershing is putting shots into us. T-37 is also trying to add in some damage. But thankfully, T-37 missed. Now, I'd prefer if the Super Pershing had missed too. Where'd he hit? Must have gone in through the side. Anyways, I can't tell where he hit. It doesn't really matter. So I wouldn't worry so much about focusing on doing the T-37 right now. The position of the T-37 is in is such that if you ever got a shot in on him, you would be exposed to most of his team anyway. So just forget about him for a little while. There's an enemy T-34 behind him who you really do have to pay attention to. That guy shoots us, we're dead. And the Super Pershing up on the ridge is still there. So, again, pay attention. Now, a light tank's best weapon is not being lit. At this point in time, Doug is constantly being proxy lit by the T-37. He needs to get out of this guy's circle of sight and find somewhere to hide. The only way he's going to do anything is either if the T-37 does something like that, or if the T-37 didn't know he was there. Now, that was close. Okay, so the reason that went so badly, I'm going to say a couple things about this. So first off, Doug, next time you get in this kind of situation, back off. Seriously. If you'd been over here, at the site of the T-37, out of everybody's sight, and he'd crested that ridge thinking no one was around, you could have put 2 or maybe 3 shots into him before he would have been able to locate you and start returning fire. You'd be at least 1 shot healthier. Plus he wouldn't have rammed you, which definitely did a lot of damage. So yeah, you survived. Good on you for a living. Definitely very helpful. However, next time, think about putting space between you and the enemy. As a light tank, stealth and speed are your 2 main weapons. If you're not employing both of them, you should be employing one very, very heavily. So if you're not moving, that means you're sitting in a bush, camouflaged up, and no way the enemy team comes close to lighting you. This is a really deadly position. You should be moving. Don't sit here. This is bad. Okay, so reasons why this is bad. Yes, you can get shots on the enemy team. However, being framed up on... Ooh, just fired, so that's... There we go. Being framed up on this ridge means that these guys down in the town have a very hard time not seeing you. Now, oops, that was the wrong button. So, unfortunately, these stupid 23s in the way. But anyways, so because of the fact you're framed up on this ridge, these guys down the town have good sight lines on you. The Churchill only has to look your way, and he's going to be able to fire before he can move because of his fast-firing gun. And what's the worst that happens if he shoots at you? The worst that happens for him if he shoots at you is he damages your tracks or knocks them off. However, he's going to be able to reload before he can fix that track, unless you use a repair kit. And as far as you moving out of the way, because of the fact you're on the front side of this ridge, your tank is pointing downwards already, the only way for you to really fast get out of here is to go forward, which is temporary. It would only get you out of the Churchill sight range and anyone over this direction. T-34 coming around this corner would still be able to hit you. Not that T-34 is concentrating on you right now, but still not the position you want to be in. There's no way you back over this hill and out of view range, or out of sight, before the Churchill fires on you if his gun was pointing in this direction. And we know that there's a Super Pershing over here, and there's a Bulldog over here. If any of these guys came up onto this ridge, you'd be dead. So, if you don't die right here, it's purely the enemy's mistake. You did really well up until this point. And this is a minor mistake, but please don't do it again. Okay? I love the fact that you're firing into the back of the Churchill. Beautiful, beautiful job. And if next time you want to do the similar sort of thing, this part of the ridge, you could probably still get that shot. Or this part of the ridge, you could get that shot. But you would have cover on either side of you, so that nobody would be able to shoot you from up here. And over here, firing down, you'd be able to pull back down the hill a lot faster. So you can still get the kind of shots that you're looking for, but try and use the train to your advantage instead of using the train in such a way where it's going to get you killed if somebody looks in your general direction. Especially when you're on this low health, you really do need to be careful. And the other thing is, of course, that you are being careful with your speed going over bridge bumps and stuff, because on Sand River there is enough dunes that are sharp enough that you can get air going off them at fairly low speeds, and so you can do things like kill yourself when you're on this low health, going at what you think is a like medium velocity, like 40 kilometers an hour or something like that. You go off some of these bridges, you will drop far enough to kill yourself. Well, that's interesting. So this, it's good shooting, and I don't know if I would do it. Mostly for the fact that Doug is currently tunnel visioning on the Super Pershing. He really needs to keep an eye out for that Bulldog. Right now, his biggest threat to his life right now is the Bulldog. That Bulldog can take him out very easily from quite a distance away. And it's an all-over, so if he misses the first shot, he's still got another one probably before you can move. Now, now that he knows where the Bulldog is, well, that was almost death. this would be the time to start sniping at the back ends of Super Pershings and enemy heavies. This would be the time when you start harassing the enemy heavies, because you know where your biggest threat is. Okay, we did know where her biggest threat is. I like the fact that he's moving now. This is a good time to be moving. Reloading and no targets currently in sight is always a good time to move. Careful with the IS-3. He is coming in your general direction. If he spots you, he's going to want to kill you. And that's the IS-3 cresting the ridge. IS-3 thankfully not looking. He's mining the T-69. So this is probably a good time to go in on him. But again, still going to have to be careful. He's pointing his back end in this direction. Make him pay for it. Oh, time to run. Okay, so now he's going to be... Nope, do not pull out of there. Okay, so the IS-3 is currently backing up for reasons I don't understand. But that's fine, because he's just trying to help us get the kill on him. Which is fine. I'm always... Oops. For those kinds of things, if you want to guarantee hits, zoom out one tick more on your scroll wheel back one more tick. It's much easier to track something side to side across your screen when you're zoomed out just a little bit more. You're still zoomed in far enough to be able to see the target and whatnot, but you're zoomed out far enough that you'll be able to compensate better when he jumps from side to side. That's just one more tip. And last but not least, we're going to go kill the Super Pershing now. The Super Pershing, we can hear him in battle with our VK, so we know he's not going to be looking in this direction. However, we're going to pause this again. So, back here somewhere, we could hear him in battle with our VK. So instead of coming up this way, if Doug could come around this way, or even down here, then we know we're going to be, from these angles, we're going to be firing into the back of his tank. Over here, the cliff isn't as great for firing down here. Over here, you're going to have to get a lot closer up here to be able to shoot down into his tank, and you're going to be shooting at partially his front armor and his top armor. If you miss his top, you're going to hit his front armor or his side armor from here. From these angles, you're more likely to hit his rear armor and his top armor, or his side armor and his top armor. It's just more likely to bounce shots and get return fire put on you from this angle, rather than these angles, which are much safer and will let you unload your entire clip into them. Now, yes, you may not get there in time to do any damage. It's safer, and the potential for increased damage is higher. However, there's also not the risk of your allies shoving you off a cliff. Beautiful, beautiful job. Good job. So a few mistakes. The only major mistake I saw all game was this ridgeline and the battle with the T-37. Other than that, great game and good use of a light tank. This is how you can really change the course of a battle, even in something like a light tank. Even while not just doing spotting, but actually doing damage and harassing your enemies. Making that I-3 spin around so that he had to fight both you and the T-69 definitely helped that T-69 pull through and win that fight. Great game. 1,500 experience with premium without his daily double, securing him his Master Badge First Class. He also found Duelist. What do you find Duelist for? Oh, right. The Super Pershing was the one that shot him. That is awesome little bit of karma and revenge at the end there. I didn't notice that before. That's cool. And of course, fire for effect. Always be aiming for fire for effect battle. Or Matt. I can speak today, I swear. always try to at least aim to do as much damage in every game as your tank has health. So at very least, you walk away leaving your team in at least as good a position as when you arrived. 1700 damage dealt in a 12t, that's pretty good. Would have got a little bit better if could have put some more shots into the IS-3, but that was more of an opportunistic thing. As you get more familiar with light tanks, you'll find more and more times when you can jump on heavy tanks and just murder them while they're not looking, which is hilariously fun, by the way. If you haven't tried it, it is really a rush. That was a great game. 22 shots fired. Quite a few of them hit. Well, okay. About 2/3 of them hit and penetrated. A whole bunch of damage. A little bit of damage blocked by armor. And a 12t, that's fairly substantial. That means you bounced a shot from the T-37, which should have killed you, but it didn't because you bounced it. Beautiful, beautiful job. Thank you so much for saying this in, Doug. You made some mistakes, but don't let that take you or slow you down or anything. You're a good light tank driver. I can't wait to see what you can do when you get some more light tank experience under your belt. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night. This is ioEther out.